Hey guys, so in today's video, I want to share with you 3 different content writing plans that you can come up with if you're starting a new website. And all 3 of them have different sort of speeds at which you're going to put content onto the website. But each of them has been successful for me, so there's no right or wrong way. So let's get started with the first one, which is the one that I would probably go with if it was my first ever website. And it's the one I did go with for my first ever website. I'm calling it the pedal to the metal strategy. Basically, for this strategy, you just write as much as you possibly can, as fast as you possibly can. Personally, I think it's the best way to get a website started. If you're writing 30 or 40 articles in the first 3 or 4 months, by the end of month 3, you've got maybe 100 articles on your website and you're really in a good position for your website to really explode somewhere between months 6 and 12. The really big pro of this is it really does index your content really early on. So all of that gets a lot of time to sort of age. So when it comes time for you to come out of the Google sandbox, whether you believe in it or not, your website should sort of start to see a bit of a hockey stick towards the second half of the year. The downside of this, and I've seen this with a few people, is some people just get really burnt out. They'll work really hard on their website, write an article a day for maybe 30 or 40 days, and then they just get so tired of it that they just quit. So if you're someone who really gets burnt out, maybe you should try to avoid this strategy because maybe you'll end up just losing interest. Okay, so this is my very first website. It was a display ads website, so I wanted a lot of content on it. And you can see in month 1, I added 65 articles. Now, I did write those articles for maybe 2 or 3 months beforehand, and then I put them all on the website at the same time. Not something I generally recommend anymore, but that's what I did the first time because I didn't know better. And then after that, I tried to add as much content as I could each month. You can see that ended up with 232 articles at the end of the first year, which I thought was a pretty good effort. If you want to see the traffic and income for this, you can see them if you're in my accountability group. But that's only for the accountability group. You can sign up at nichesafari.com. So the second strategy that I used was the indexing strategy. I did this for my second website. So essentially what I did was I indexed a few articles and just let the website sit. I had other things going on in my life at the time, but this is a really good strategy. Either if you've got a website idea, but you're too busy to work on it at the moment, or you're working on one website and you've got a website idea for a second website and you know that you're going to start it in a few months, index the site right now, put a couple of articles up so Google knows that the website exists, so that hopefully by the time you get around to starting adding articles, that sandbox effect will be minimized. Obviously, the downside of this is it does delay content creation because you're just putting a few articles up and just letting the site sort of just sit for a while. So if you have the time to add content, add the content, do the pedal to the metal strategy. But if you've got an idea for your second website, I'd really recommend doing this one right now, just so that your website is seen and acknowledged by Google as soon as possible. So I did this for my second website. It was an affiliate website, and you can see there by month 7, I'd only had 7 articles on that site. And then I really went hard adding content when I finally got around to being able to dedicate my time and effort to it. By the end of that by the end of that year, I had 73 articles on it. I usually try to go for 80 on an affiliate site by the end of the first year, so I didn't quite meet my goal, but that website did end up being quite successful. It was making over $1,000 a month by month 12. And you can see all the traffic and income stats again if you're in the accountability group. Okay, the third strategy is a strategy I'm using at the moment. It's called the steady grind strategy, where all you want to do is you just want to add maybe 5 or 10 articles per month and just stay at it constantly for years, essentially. So this is really good if you're splitting time between your websites and your job, or between 2 websites. So I'm building up 2 websites at the moment, and I don't really have time to dedicate 30 or 40 articles a month just to one website. So I'm slowly adding a bit to each of the websites as I go, and both of the websites are slowly aging, and then hopefully that compounding effect, before I know it, I'll turn around and both of my websites will have 100 articles on them. So it helps spread out your effort and slowly build up several different diversified websites. Obviously, the downside of it, and I'm feeling that at the moment, it can be really frustrating slowly watching a website grow, not as fast as you want it to. So here's an example of my steady grind strategy for my affiliate site. It's my third site on my website. It's 4 months old it's the third site on my portfolio. It's 4 months old at the moment. It's currently got 47 articles, and you can see I'm adding about 10 or 15 articles per month. Okay, so all the videos this week are sort of promoting the fact that I do have a new accountability group going on. In the accountability group, I'll put a screen up now of it. It is showing you all of the stats for the first 12 months of my main 4 sites, including the traffic and revenue for each of them, so you can compare your site to how they're going and try to sort of meet my averages. And then on the next page, you can write in your monthly plan, so how much content you plan to write for the month. And then whenever you have written an article for the day, at the end of the day, just go into that site, go onto the spreadsheet and write in the day that you wrote an article. Hopefully, because we will have several people working on this spreadsheet, you'll be able to motivate one another to keep writing. And then we also have a private Discord chat amongst all those people who can ask each other questions and have a discussion about how their websites are going. So if you're interested in getting to know some more people, sort of overcoming some of that loneliness of building websites, feel free to join the Discord chat and the accountability group spreadsheet.